Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of me and Jack breaking things. Well, Jack breaking things.
Well, hopefully we're going to fix some things. I don't want to break anything today.
Big mods today. Jack, when you're watching this video, it might be Jack's funeral because I'm tuning his car and he can't handle how fast it is now. That's what Lucas said this morning.
So we're doing the fuel inside of Stage 2 Plus, and we're doing some fixings.
So we're going to do the KO4 injectors, the S3 injectors / edition injectors. We are going to do the high pressure fuel pump install, which we've got down there, the Viz Motorsport one.
He's already took it off.
We're doing the internals, not the full pump. And we are going to change his water pump, thermostat, because it is leaking, and he's having to put loads of coolant in it every week. Yeah, so we'll flap delete and have a look at why one of these pipes is leaking. And maybe have to modify this pipe at TIG welder because it's been rubbing on the, whatever that is, coolant, oil cooler. God, some serious business. I'll tell you what, it's getting warm in here. It's rather me with all this pre-workout I took this morning, or it's getting rid of.
It's the pre-workout. I'm not warm.
Try not to break anything. I need to slide that out a little bit because there is a bracket underneath it. So I think we need to take the bottom boost pipe off. We're doing lots of fixings and lots of modifyings today.
Yeah.
Hi, la, la, la. Okay, no, that's tight. There we go, big man.
That's one of the wanky parts off. I also forgot to mention, I bought some injectors. Oh. They've been done, and then we've just changed the seals on them.
We're going to have to get some...
There's my shiny new Viz internals. Got some nice...
It is water pump that's been leaking.
What?
It is water pump that's been leaking.
Right. Got some sensors for the conversion, and I've got from Danny at Wigan Bag Parts.
Big up, Big Danny.
Yeah, sorting us out as always. And a RS4 fuel pressure relief valve. That's basically it, I think.
It's that what's leaking more than out.
Yeah, we need to fix this as well. If you remember, we fitted this from Forge. If you want, we have a discount code for Forge. But it didn't come with that pipe, so we're going to have to make a pipe because that's
this
leaking.
One that's leaking most.
That one's leaking.
So, yeah.
Sure, it's not just because it's getting blown up there though.
Nah. Look at it on bottom there.
Yeah.
It's all solidified. See it there?
Yeah.
One.
Oh, they're for me. See these? No power. Them on there, some power.
I'll be out.
That's right.
Burnt your centre ready this week, so may as well carry on.
Yeah, I burnt my thumb making mash. This is why I have to have a mechanic.
See, old shitty ones made out of plastic. They'll be cracked wherever it will. One of them will be cracked, I bet you. If you look at one, one of them will 100% be cracked. There we go.
Yeah, see, split. That's warm and all.
State of that. I need to clean them valves out.
Mm-hmm.
Take that pin out. I think man's done. Playing this game now called Which End Does It Go In?
Very expensive juice, isn't it?
Yeah. I fathomed it. That it?
I think so.
Circle, 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 circle. Pins into block ender it up.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs are good. Brand new in that manifold gasket from TPS.
Yeah, pre-oiled.
Pre-oiled. It'll go again, that. As long as it's not rock hard.
Yeah. It came out easy enough. It didn't stick. It was decent.
What's that on?
So that's the 200 bar
fuel pressure.
Yeah, fuel pressure sensor.
Yeah.
And then RS fuel pressure return valve. Is it relief valve or return valve? So it's one of them.
One of them. I think it's return. That's it. Quite a tight boy, weren't you? I hate that when it's like too loose for the span, a bit too tight for your fingers. Right, old ting, new ting. It probably would have helped, if Lucas put fucking clip back on, hose back on, right?
What?
Look. The hose in on thingy, right? Look, see it? Clips on the side, it goes over and misses rubber. See it?
Lucas.
Lucas.
We just cleaned all that. And we've had some dinner, some breakfast.
Big munch. Big munch. That's the least magneticest piece of metal I've ever had to pick up. Big gushings. Don't think that's genuine, you know. Must be a leak in there. Smells a bit funny, you know.
It looks a bit rusty, doesn't it?
Looks like it's been sat with you for a bit. This is quite excessively worn, I'd say. Sorry, it's not scored the bucket at all, but it has worn a lot of the coating off. There's a before and after, what it should look like.
So I've had this car for about a year and a half now. That's the first time
Lucas
I've
did
changed
change this. It's
Yeah.
a genuine one that's been put in as well. This is non-genuine.
Yeah, they're on back order, so we've just putting that in for now.
But this is a February one, so it's genuine. I'd put this in my car, in a customer's car. If you're stoked, then obviously I'd do it. But I'd just say no otherwise. Obviously, Jack knows the score.
Yeah.
We're stuck otherwise. But February, as a garage, I wouldn't put it on a customer's car. But as my own, I would. But 'cause it's the same. But warranty-wise, it's different.
We're just doing fuel pump. We also popped down to La Pla, which is just down the road. And if you remember, we had loads of problems with this sliding off. So we've basically bought an adapter, clamped on a hose, and that's just going to go on. So that should be that problem sorted.
No! God, please, no! No!
So now we're putting on the fancy Viz pump.
Measure that all, it should be 5 mil. Don't quote me on that because I'm not a professional mechanic. Joke. I'm a G.
What are you doing now, Thomas? What are you?
I am doing a TC performance mod. No, I'm just drilling fitting out on here. Let's the fuel through a little bit better because it's like 5 mil at that end and like 0.1 mil on the other side. Look at that now, big flows.
Loads of flow.
Wileting. Only certain viewers would get that joke. English man them, back of the bus man them. Yeah, that's literally it now. If you are doing this yourself, please be very careful.
Wear eye protection.
Wear eye protection, yeah.
Wear gloves.
Make sure you check them sensors when it's in vice and you don't chop one off.
They are quite important.
Don't OTT that either. Right now, try to build one of these fuel pumps. That's the actual turn on. Yeah, it's literally just a valve.
Yeah.
I say a valve, it's just like a pin. So that pump has actually been failing inside.
What?
If you look inside there, see that washer's all broke. Can't really see it. Where's my touch? Watch this. You can see it inside's all.
Started to fail.
See that bush inside?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's a seal in it. Yeah, the seal's all full cad,
Like a bit crusty, isn't it?
all lubed up.
Fairly straightforward.
Spring. Then that should release. Kneel it. That.
This is where Tom's surgeon-like precision comes in. Spent years mastering the art of putting big things in small holes.
I don't want to say we're perfectly on, but I think we're perfectly on.
So everything's back on. High pressure fuel pumps in.
Wait, say 40 psi now, do
All
you?
plumbed in. Yes, I'd like 40 psi minimum, please. So small update. Battery's on charge because we're just putting a base map on. So we're basically finished for now. So you'll see another video of us actually tuning it because I want to We don't want this to run too long on because we're going to borrow our friend Joe's dyno at JBM. So big shout out to JBM. We're going to rent his dyno, hopefully. Fingers crossed. He's the one who sorted us out with a cam follower. This is all just some software to take the gearbox map off because we're having gearbox on as well. If you're not familiar, we've got a DSG and it's from a Scirocco R because it broke. Nice rundown. We've changed that line. We changed the end of it because we was having problems with that. I mentioned that. Viz high pressure fuel pump, lovely. That was supplied by Tom. So if you want one, shout him. He'll sort it. Cam follower from JBM, and KO4 injectors from a lad called Sean. Nice one, Sean, for selling them. And then various bits from Wig and Bag Parts. A big thanks to Wig and Bag Parts. Yeah, ready for big stage 3.
Big man thing, yeah. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
There's been a problem. The problem is me. Get ready, because if you're in the internet and you're in the comments on YouTube and you don't like me specifically, you're going to have a field day. So I have some explaining to do, and I will leave Thomas to do it because he is more educated than me.
Where do I start? Jack's an idiot. So we've obviously put the injectors in. We've put the RS4 fuel return control valve, 200 PSI or 200 bar fuel pressure regulator, high pressure fuel pump, and map sensor.
Swell flap delete.
Yeah, swell flap delete. And then we've started the vehicle and it has immensely smoked out of the back.
This was an episode of Stars in Their Eyes, momentarily.
Apart from it, we called Tears in Their Eyes.
Yeah, it was tears. Regret. So originally we thought injectors, didn't we?
Originally, I thought something serious was wrong, but then I remembered we've not done scaling yet for map sensor and for fuel pump and the rest of it. So Big Phil sorted his files out and he did the scaling for us, and then we drove the car out and the smoking still prevailed.
Yeah, obviously we had Phil from Calibrate, Phil Cooper, thank you very much for your help, on standby, and our friend Joe at JBM. He was on the phone as well, helping us.
So we got this bad smoking issue, which we didn't know what were causing it.
Yeah.
And surging, bad surging.
Yeah, it weren't nice.
And rough idle, which something were wrong. So we did some logs on lambda sensor, boost pressure, fuel pressure, lambda control, timing, checked all that. All of it were absolutely fine.
Yeah.
At which point I was like, something's not going right.
So the only variables we had was what we'd installed. Everything else were fine, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we didn't know where to start with it. I knew the file were right, and we knew
the fuel pump were right, because that was brand new.
And the VCDS bits were correct. We pulled manifold back off, took the injectors out, took them down to Joe's, and Joe did a test on them. These injectors were apparently
were rebuilt by Artec, apparently.
And have not done many miles.
They weren't even serviced.
So we've checked them, they've not been serviced, and they haven't been rebuilt by Artec, because apparently that was done in 2018.
2017, not done many miles after since.
And I don't think Artec were doing injectors until 2020.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that might have led that problem a little bit.
Yeah.
Not just that, they put a certain seal on the bottom of these injectors at Artec, and that seal weren't there. And one was dripping into cylinder 1. Yeah. And cylinder 1 was dripping at 5 bar of fuel pressure, and it has 50 at idle.
Yeah.
So if Joe's machine made it drip at 5, what's it doing at 50?
Yeah.
So anyway, that got resolved. And
they're sorted now. Joe sorted them for us. So.
We got that put back in.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Legend. We got them put back in, and still the same. So then we removed the manifold again, and then changed the fuel rail sensor because I thought it might be giving it incorrect pressure, i.e. it said it had no pressure when it did, and it had way too much pressure, and it would trick it rest of the fuel down exhaust.
It's worth noting now at this point, I'd been awake for like nearly 30 hours or something daft, and I needed to go home to go to bed, so I had to get a train back.
Meanwhile, I've been up since 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's now 5 p.m. and I've got another car to do.
It was 7 o'clock.
Oh yeah, it was 7 p.m.
7 o'clock.
I've got another car to do at this point. Yeah, so we took it back off, changed the rail sensor. Still the same. The reason why we're doing these ones is all these parts aren't brand new. So we couldn't rule out if it was these parts or not. Oh, actually, we did the injectors first, and then the second thing we did is I took my fuel pump off my van and I took Jack's one off. I put Jack's one on mine, and my one. Oh no, I just put Jack's one on mine, and my van started fine and didn't smoke. So
we both have
the same,
the
literally
same
identical.
fuel pump.
Same fuel
Our
pump, same
engines
fittings,
are
identical.
It's basically
Literally one to one, like apart from my air filter's different.
I know we've not updated the caddy because we've just not had time. We've done it on off bits, but there is a big caddy video coming.
Jack's got anti-surge core and a different air filter. Everything else is literally like for like, same coil packs, same fucking boost pipes. Oh no, Jack's got a different boost pipe, but size-wise, everything's the same. Oil, all that's the same. Fuel pump, same parts. So that's when we end up changing them. After that, we put Jack's pump back in, which rules that one out as not being faulty. Then we did the 200 bar fuel pressure sensor. Put that back together, still the same. And then we did the RS4 fuel return valve. I knew it weren't going to be that because it's literally just a brass fitting with an opening in it. That was still the same. So then it came back off again. I put standard injectors in and everything else. So it was all back to standard. And it was still the same. At which point...
So what was the only thing left?
Only thing that happened is, as you'll have seen in the video, as we took the inlet manifold off, we had this problem. And did you get a video?
The barb fitting.
Yeah, the barb fitting kept blowing off this catch can. Remember when we put that lovely billet rocker cover on and we put that catch can on and it was smoking really bad? And I weren't a fan of how it were, so we put a different catch can on and I still weren't a fan of how it were.
But I liked it.
He liked it.
Yeah. But
So,
what we will say is it looked like it were working.
yeah, that's the hard bit. So the fitting that pushes onto the PCV underneath the engine kept blowing off randomly. We thought it was bad fitting. So we've put a silicon joiner, as you'll have seen, inside there with some Jubilee clips. So now it can't come off at all.
It literally cannot come off.
Can't come off. Like, there's no. It was so tight putting it on, and then Jack wanted to put a Jubilee clip on as well.
Yeah.
So it weren't coming off. So we put that in and then built everything else back up. So at this bit, I thought something is not very well. I didn't think about this connector at this point.
No, I didn't think.
So me, my dad and Connor have just scratched our head for about 3 hours. So it's now about 11, 12.
Yeah.
Thinking of
Bearing in mind that I'm like just starting work after like an hour's sleep, stressing, thinking my car's ready to catch fire and I'm not even there to sit in it.
So we thought, we had a look at exhaust, we let it warm up outside. We've set alarm off in building.
Yeah, fireman Sam nearly turned up.
We set next to our neighbour's fire alarm off in their building and we couldn't turn them off because we can't get into their control panels. So ours were off, but we're still getting death on by next door. We pulled the boost pipe off just to have a look and I'll
put the video
insert a video here
yeah.
of Niagara Falls of the oil world leaking out the boost pipe. At which part I thought, that's a bit funny. This turbo's like being on 6 months and it's brand new.
Hoping and praying this turbo's going to be fine because it's a low mileage turbo. I bought it off an Audi S3, like a 2012 one, and it had less than 40,000 miles. It was a show car, it barely got driven. And then I've put an anti-surge core in. So that should be fucking bob on really, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, don't fucking die on me.
So we took their boost pipe off full of oil. That were a big concern. I thought, as oil getting into the evap system / boost system. Takes boost pipe off, drains oil, cleans all the boost pipe out, cleans it where turbo is, puts the inspection, well, we put the inspection camera down first, found that there's oil in the where turbo blades are. Turbo blades look fine. Takes pipe off, cleans it all out, undoes other side, that's all draining oil out. And then we take the throttle body pipe off and there's all coolant in it.
So basically, I turned my intercooler into a secondary sump.
He's basically Jesus. It was entering as oil and exiting as coolant. He basically turned water into wine.
Yeah, you've heard of atomising in an intercooler. I've managed to atomise oil into coolant.
It does the same thing with money.
Yeah.
Money comes in, money goes out.
Yeah.
So it turns out there's been a coolant leak from this pipe and this duct that Jack's installed professionally has blown the coolant that's leaking into the air filter. And the air filter has sucked it into the turbo. So one side of the turbo is pink inside and the other side is black inside, just like my soul. We cleaned that pipe out, cleaned the intake out and left the boost pipes off, started the car up with no boost pipes on and there is no smoke. So something, my dad laughing.
Yeah, Chris is just off camera.
There was no smoke, which entails to be one of two things, rather some sort of, what it's burning, by the way, is oil. So, and it stinks.
Yeah, it was
proper
horrible.
Dirty, thick
It was like a
white
weird
smoke.
bonfire smell.
Yeah.
Like it was horrible.
atomising oil in intercooler from turbo and it's getting sucked into intake, or all that coolant's atomised inside turbo and ruined the core. I didn't think it'd be that because they are quite solid billet cores. So we cleaned it all out, put it all back together, and then I thought to myself, oh, coolant leak, we did that when we took manifold off, and I thought, oh, what else did we do? Oh yeah, we also did this. Pipe problem. So anyway, we've pulled this pipe off, spoke to Joe, spoke to Phil, and apparently these engines do not like having a PCV delete on, as we found out.
We've always known that.
We knew this because I don't fit the forge plates. I always run the valve. I just put a new
So that's it. The thing that we've always seen is do not run a PCV delete, because obviously PCVs in these do fail. So then people look at alternative options, like what I thought. We'll preempt it, and I'll put a nice catch can on because I got offered one at a decent price. That's why I thought when we fitted the nuke catch can, everything was fucking dandy, wasn't it? Like it was sound. It weren't.
Because obviously the first one that I installed, it had no baffles in, so
Yeah.
it was doing the PCV inside itself
Yeah,
and
it was
lobbing
just
it for exhaust.
It was chucking oil out the exhaust, and it was spitting oil out the top of the breather. So we
and now this new one was so goodly baffled, it kept it inside the engine. But because Jack's got a billet rocker cover on, usually what happens is the oil cap blows off, snaps off, or it blows the crank seal out of the engine into the gearbox and all the engine oil leaks out. But because that didn't happen, I presume what's happened is because it's been blowing off, it's been venting out a little bit underneath there. And now we've connected it back together, it's like it just run way OTT.
That was like the weakest point, so it blew it off. So now when we just basically joined that in stiff as fuck. It can't go anywhere because the top it covers like an actual screw-in top.
Yeah, screwing cap.
We're just like, there were nowhere else for it to go. So we are quite lucky that it's not blown the gearbox seal out. But
Or the engine up.
yeah.
So another thing, we undid the dipstick and there's no oil in it.
Yeah, that was weird. So I had no light on, no lights on saying.
So we put a litre of oil in it and there was still no oil in it. So we put another litre of oil in it and it touched bottom of dipstick. So I thought, where's this oil gone? I know someone's definitely gone in boost pipe. So my protocol was to say to Jack, we need to take this off and start from basics. So we took it all off. We took all the coil packs out, and this much of the coil pack on all 3 cylinders, apart from the 4th, was deep in oil, covering the spark plug. So we took them out, took rocker off, took spark plugs out. Spark plugs were covered in oil end to end, all its cylinder and everything. So it were burning oil. It's forced it past the seal in the rocker cover gasket, into the cylinder, well, into the tube where the dipstick is, and filled that up. So that's where some of the oil were. Rest of it was in the intake and intercooler and intake pipe. We got a second-hand cover, genuine gaskets, PCV on, genuine PCV gasket, genuine PCV bolts, genuine PCV pipe, bottom one and top one.
I think this was the main.
This is the main one. What's it called now? On the 20 valve turbo, it was called the SIA delete, where the blank was air injection.
Secondary
air intake injection, whatever it's called, off the turbo to make it spool quicker. It's similar to what's outside of this, but it's a breather.
Yeah.
They blank that off. So when the turbo's spinning up, it needs to vent out a bit, and it can't. So it's been pushing it past the blades, but it shouldn't be pushing it.
There's been no oil, there's been no air in turbo, just oil. I've just been trying to build boost with oil, basically.
We've had to get that pipe from TPS and the clips and the little rubber joiner. We have left the catch can ones open because I didn't know, but Joe told us that inside, this bit isn't inside the cover. It's actually got its own like galleyway. So it comes out there and comes out there. It doesn't go inside the actual cover.
Right.
Or outside, it's just got its own hole inside. It literally.
So they're joined together?
So yeah, them two are joined together. So it goes into the charcoal canister and then goes back into the turbo.
Right.
That's why it doesn't smell. So it goes for exhaust.
Right.
That's how when you take them off, it stinks in car. We've put all that back on, as well as put all the Stage 2 Plus kit back on, and then started the car up this morning, as well as done an oil and filter change and spark plugs, cleaned up coil packs. So when I say cleaned, I've literally cleaned them in parts washer with the rocker cover and all new gaskets and bolts. Everything's come from TPS. And we started it up, and miraculously the smoke's gone. And then we've done a flash on the car for us to base file for us to do some logs in. We've gone to log it, and it was very smoky. Yeah. But I presume it's going to be because there's a lot of oil in the intercooler.
But by the time we finished logging it,
which were like 50 minutes, smoke was gone. And I mean gone.
Yeah, there was nothing.
And we've come back, ate some dinner. Well, I have. Gone back out, no smoke at all. Done some more logs on the dyno that we call England.
Yorkshire's finest dyno.
Yorkshire's finest butter dyno. And yeah, no smoke. This billet rocker cover is not really designed for, rather, it's not that. You don't know if Jack's engine is breathing bad. If it is worn, it will breathe more.
Because obviously when we put the Nuke one on, everything was fine. Obviously I drive this every day. I've had no issues with this car. Running wise, never had an issue.
There's loads of issues at car. He's 99.9% of them.
So I didn't think anything was untoward.
Obviously, you're not going to think, oh, it's that catch can pipe.
I'm going to get a little vibration. I think that's that catch can.
That's it.
So I'm not an engineer.
That's all back together now.
Yeah.
And it's all now working.
It's been a long 2 days.
It's that 5:45 on Thursday.
Yeah. And we started this 7 o'clock Wednesday morning.
I got in yesterday at 1:45.
Yeah. Do you know what's lucky though? We never have this with customers' cars, really.
Because customers' cars, I don't fit second-hand parts on.
That may have something to do with it.
What should have happened?
No, actually, I'm going to clarify this. I bought that rocker cover brand new. You heard it here first. I bought it brand new and it was brand new fucked. All the other second-hand parts I've fitted fine.
I'm not saying second-hand parts are bad, but as a mechanic's point of view, / businesses, if I supplied all the parts brand new,
you'd know.
I'd have took the injectors out, had them tested, put them back in, and I'd have known that the other 4 things were perfect because they're brand new. I'd have checked the fuel pump on my van, and I wouldn't have had to strip it another 4 times
it
for no reason.
It would have just saved time.
Yeah, it'd save time. So instead of being 7 mile 11 strashing red, it'd have been 7 mile half 7, and then I'd have probably had it fixed that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you know, getting these manifolds off aren't you? A nice job.
Obviously, it's unfortunate because visually, I love the way that rocker cover looked. Like it looked bad boy in the engine, but obviously it's just not fit for purpose.
Everyone, please comment saying sorry TC that you had to pull this.
Well, he gets paid for it, so he's not too bad, is he?
That's true. We've done a smoke test on the vehicle, and I've fixed his intake bracket. But now she's like factory OEM.
So now we're just going to run the base map, and then you'll see another video of us absolutely
big sends.
Yeah, sending it. Yes, it's been an eventful 2 days. I'm very stressed and upset. Tom is stressed and tired. I'm very
stressed, tired, emotionally upset.
Yeah.
And
regretting his choices.
Jack says he's tired. He's had like 14 hours sleep.
I've had fucking like 6 hours sleep in 3 days.
I had like 3 hours sleep last night.
It's a competition, isn't it? Obviously, I lose.
Obviously. Where's that old rocker cover?
Put it back on and fucking limp it home. I think that's going to be the end of it today. It's a bit of a long video, but
it wouldn't have been a long video, would it?
Not if I'd have fucking never installed that rocker cover.
What have you learned from this whole episode?
Don't install rocker covers.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
Don't delete PCV.
Don't delete PCV on the 2-litre TFSI.
Yeah.
TSI, no problem. They're a lot tighter engine. TFSI, not good.
But I would like to know people who actually have it running, what the fuck they've done and how they've done it. I don't think I'm going to bother putting it back on.
But they won't have done that like we hadn't done.
Yeah.
They've all got the same stage 2 plus mods.
Or have they run that crank beaver somewhere else? That's the only thing I can think of.
Or have they not blanked turbo off?
Yeah, but there's nowhere else to put it, is there? It
I know,
don't go to anything.
I know,
but
you don't
if they ran that
you might have had it open vented, but then it'd be leaking all over.
Yeah.
People do that though. I've seen it a couple of times where they've took charcoal canister out and then they put a pipe on end of the fuel. There, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put a pipe on end of that, ran it into the car. Well, they've done that, but that ran it in wing. Elephant mod, yeah. So oil's just dripping in your wheel liner instead.
Right. So if anyone wants to buy a Bartek rocker cover,
link in bio.
we can offer fitting at DC Performance.
Link in description.
Yeah. I would just like to end this video off by saying thank you to Tom. It's been a stressful day for the pair of us, but at least he's still here smiling, laughing at me.
Someone's got to do it, haven't they? And thanks to Joe for always answering phone when we're shouting at him.
And thanks to Phil as well
Thanks
for
to
helping
Phil
maps.
for sorting files out. And thanks to my dad for
buying some Kinder Buenos.
buying some Kinder Buenos and making me not want to punch Jack's head in.
That's a full-time job. Look at that, cat-like reflexes.
Cat like, what is it? Strong like a bull. Trying to think of another way we can make Jack cry now.
Show me the bill. I want to thank you all for watching. Just let me know in the comments what you think, even if it's a bad thing.
There's lots of swearing in these comments, I can tell.
Yeah, lots of I told you so. Let us know if you do anything differently, mainly installing rocker covers.
Don't buy a Mark 5 GTI.
Buy a Mark 5 GTI, just
Buy a
don't
Mark
install
7 Golf
PCV leads.
GTI / Golf R.
Buy a 7 GTI, much better, much stronger, much nicer.
And
I could have bought a 7 GTI with the money I probably spent on this, to be fair.
They could have bought a 7 GTI. How much his bill's going to be?
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.